All right, let's finish up the truck wiring. So where we got to was we got our wires on here. We got it sorted out which way they go and everything. And what we have to do now, like the one that works here, right down in there, since there's no plastic insulator, we're going to take a piece of heat shrink. And remember what I said about getting it to the right height. So I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this size. Just make sure it fits over here. Don't have it be too small. You'll figure it out. Just eyeball it, and you'll get the right one. These come in those multi-packs that you can get like at tool stores and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to measure this. Now I want it to go down to the little shelf right there, and I don't really want it to go much past where the wire is on. This isn't meant to hold the wire on there. This is meant to prevent the hangers from touching the frame. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I'm going to cut off a little piece about like that. There's one. Let's cut off another one, roughly the same. There we go. Okay, now we'll fit it down. We'll check to see if it's close enough, which it should be just right. Yep, there. Okay, now these we are going to shrink down. So I'm going to go ahead and take the soldering iron here. I'm going to touch it. Now it'll shrink in place so it stays right where we want it. Now we're protected. Okay. Now we won't be, the frame is not going to be energized at all. And that's what we want. We don't want frame being energized. Okay. There we go. Just like that. Okay, good. Now we got them on here. Okay, this happens to be a front truck. So now here's the order of operations. The underside goes on last. See this little shelf back here? That goes towards the rear of the truck. All right. Remember, these things are directional, so you got to make sure that you've got the right one on the right side. And when you do this, it's easiest to go from this side first, because it's put on just like that. It's harder to do this side actually, but it's easy to just kind of flip that up and put it on there. Now we're going to take a side frame, and this is what holds it in place. And that holds our hanger in place like that, and the bottom will lock it in place. Okay, now if we've done this right, this arm is about even up with that hole for the pintle. And the shelf is to the outside. No. Shelf is to the inside. These little ends of these punched in rivets, they go out. They are towards you, or they are away from the wheel. Okay, now we got this guy. We lock him in there. And we go ahead and we put the bottom on, and the bottom is going to lock it in place. Very nice. Now we've got a truck. I already did the other one. So let's take a look now how these guys fit in here and what they should look like. Because remember, we may have to bend those arms just a little bit so that they're inside the opening that we made. We want them to be in there so that they're not going to be, we don't want them too close to any of the parts. This one is a little too close. I'll show you. This one here, it won't matter. still work. No, actually, he's not too close. He looks pretty good. These look good. Yeah, we got a nice opening. Even if one of them is all the way, if it's all the way turned, the other one is still not touching anything. We want to make sure that we don't see any parts where it's getting contact with the frame. This one here is too close. So we're going to bend him back just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. And the reason I say he's too close is I think he is there. There we go. Because now what we got to do is we're going to make it look like this. Okay. Okay. So you get yours wired up like this, and then we'll do this in the next video here. I'm gonna show how to run the wires so that like where the cab sits here, we're not in the way. How to keep them out of the way of the drive shafts. So I'll upload this one right now, and then I'll start doing that one so we can get to the next step.